Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Star Citizen Alpha 3.17.2 has just doubled its server size, its server player cap, but that might just be for testing. We also have a PTU update and a summary of what's coming up this week. Star Citizen has increased its player server cap, with Cloud Imperium saying, "Some of you may have noticed we increased the server cap. Well, we are going to continue our experiments with different server populations and we would like to get some of your thoughts." That patch is already now out on the PTU and they're starting at 100 players and are going to slowly lower it back. Specifically, they're curious about what performance or server related issues seem to worsen, which issues are consistent regardless of 50 or greater server populations, what scenarios you tested that showed worse behavior, what scenarios did not seem to be impacted at all. Cloud Imperium do want feedback on this. If you're playing in the PTU, you can see your current server pop as the out of field. On global chat, the example they give is 50/85. The population on that server is 85. These tests are important as Cloud Imperium builds better netcode for Star Citizen's persistent entity streaming, server meshing, generally making the game an MMO, Star Citizen's netcode, and servers are some of the things that have lagged behind tech-wise really in Star Citizen for a long time. We want the game to be an MMO. We want thousands of players on these sort of server-meshed mega servers. But even with server meshing, there's still going to be limits of what the tech can do, and that limit is probably how many players can be in a small area, a single room together. Now, although server cap limits have been raised in the PTU version of 3.17.2, could we see them also be raised for live? It's unlikely, but potentially, though the tests would have to go extremely well. All I'm saying is that it is a possibility that we could have 100-player servers for 3.17.2 live, although that's stars align, everything's perfect. It's more likely that we won't see any change, that they're just doing this for testing. But it's still possible they could raise the server. In fact, after recording this, I did see a clarification from Cloud Imperium Games' Jake Acapella. "Hey all, just wanted to clarify that we're doing a test on our servers, in this case to profile them under different workload levels, in order to assess areas of new possible gain and remaining bottlenecks after recent optimizations in 3.17.2. We do tests like this with varying player counts on the PTU on occasion, to weed out issues we might not see otherwise, and for other performance measuring reasons. While we eventually will, we're not planning on increasing the player count on live servers with Alpha 3.17.2. Well, they're not planning to, but still, if the tests go well, I live in dumb hope. Yeah, it's very unlikely that server sort of limits will be increased for 3.17.2 live. But I've been really impressed with the improvements and updates in 3.17.2, though there certainly have been some teething issues during the PTU, which at times would either have AI entirely unresponsive or servers mega crashy. I've had some great experiences in the last couple of PTU patches though. In the latest Star Citizen Alpha 3.17.2 O patch, there's been just a couple of little bug fixes. Restricted area warnings should no longer appear for players who re-accept a shared mission after abandoning it, and they fixed a client crash and 3 server crashes. The list of known bugs has been significantly diminished over the last couple of PTU patches. So CIG are still trying to improve actor jitter and teleporting and getting AI as functional as possible while tweaking netcode. So other than that, there's sort of other things that they're trying to get solved ASAP for live. Are several locations at Grimhex do not have atmosphere. There are some crime stats and sort of mission accessibility issues. FPS weapons can holster or unholster unintentionally, and all FPS weapons are held like pistols, and when you're EVAing around, components in interior zones remain when ships are destroyed, not ideal. Ships on landing pads end up in an unknown state if they get stored in an area or get streamed out. We know that Cloud Imperium have a 3.17.2 live release roughly targeted within a week, so by the weekend or middle of next week, sort of most likely between that sort of time period. So what's happening for the rest of this week in Star Citizen? Cloud Imperium have said, "This week we're excited to finally kick off the competitive construction clash for the kids. The Battle of the Bricks. The Star Citizen and EVE teams will be broadcasting from Manchester, UK, as they see who can build a ship out of bricks the fastest. The catch, each team has to build the opposite game's ship, while all will be raising money for extra life and undergoing excruciating challenges along the way, so join us for a good time and for a great cause. Later, Tuesday, the narrative team are going to be publishing a lore post. Wednesday, we've got the latest roadmap update. However, I'm not very excited for roadmap updates when like a patch is just about to go live, because typically you see like the tiniest of updates here. I might be pleasantly surprised, but I think that typically you just see like something tiny or no changes. Friday, the Battle of Bricks. That live stream kicks off at 4 PM UTC on the Star Citizen Twitch channel. There are going to be various giveaways. It's going to be sort of quite an in-depth, interesting, silly stream. If you want to sort of get involved and watch that, I recommend that you do, and it's for a good cause. Boom! That's it for today's updates. I'm very much looking forward to Alpha 3.17.2 on the live servers and being able to play what is hopefully a very fun, stable build. I think people are going to really enjoy the Siege of Orison and the new features for 3.17.2, assuming that we can have the servers in a really good state. But what do you think? Is it possible they could get server caps over 50 for a live build of 3.17.2? Or do you think, no, like, obviously Cloud Imperium just doing it for testing. They said it's just for testing. It's, even if it did go well, they're unlikely to sort of increase server caps. Are you excited for Alpha 3.17.2? Have you been playing in the PTU, or have you tested out the Siege of Orison yet? What are your experiences with that? Do you think there's going to be any other little secrets or surprises with that 3.17.2 build? What about the Battle of the Bricks? Are you going to be tuning in? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
Greetings, citizen. I am NordVPN Man, bringing the justice of cybersecurity to the world. I protect you from ads, trackers, and malware. I punched a guy so hard once with security features that I knocked him back in time. He was able to use the knowledge of the future to become incredibly rich and wealthy. He bought like 10 subscriptions to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer after that. Really smart guy. Another time, I prevented a hacker from snooping at your IP address by taking off his hands. You can't hack with no hands. Probably. Anyway, you should get NordVPN, otherwise the terrorists win.
Every month we have a giveaway. For July 2022, we're giving away a Hull A cargo hauler, as well as a Nomad multi-role freighter. That Nomad also comes with a hovercraft bike. So there's 2 lucky winners this month, and both of those packages contain access to Star Citizen. Comment on any of my videos during this month to be in for a chance of winning that, and check the description down below for more details. Please consider becoming a Patreon or channel member with the join button under my videos. This nets you a variety of exclusive extras, badges, influence on the channel and content and special videos, as well as helping us produce daily content. Thank you very much for watching. Please take care, and I'll see you in the verse.